This is our backyard. It's great, but there's not really any place to sit. And with my daughter's first birthday coming up, she needs a place to sit. Oh yeah, and I know, I need to plant some grass over there, but one thing at a time. All right, so my goal is to build my daughter a baby-sized picnic table for her birthday, about 4 feet long, half scale, something like that. I don't know, never made a picnic table before. But the real challenge is, the challenge that's been set out by the cut, is that I have to do this whole thing for under $50 at the Home Depot. I have no idea if I can do that, but you know, I'm hopeful. I think maybe. Either way, let's head to the store and figure it out. With some rough math, a budget of $50 was gonna get me 10 2x4s and some deck screws. That was all fine and great until I realized that the cheap 2x4s just were not cutting it. They had pith, checking, they were twisted, it just looked horrible. So I had to pivot, and I could only get 8 of the nicer quality 2x4s, which was all fine until I realized that deck screws were $11.47. That was too much money according to my back of the napkin math, so I had to put one of my 2x4s back. Then I had to go to the taco stall, where the 2x3s are, of course, grab one of those and put it in the cart. I had 7 2x4s all ready to go, my box of deck screws, so I headed to the checkout with my fingers crossed.
Are you kidding me? $49.03? Dang.
What do you think? Here's my haul. I've got 7 8-foot 2x4s, 1 8-foot 2x3, and this here box of very expensive deck screws. I'm gonna start with what I know. I'm gonna cut a bunch of boards down to 4 feet, and we'll see what I have left. Hey, I'm Zach. I'm the person on the screen there. If you're enjoying this video, number 1, thank you. And number 2, I would really love it if you could give it a like and potentially subscribe to my channel. This is the first round of a competition to potentially win $10,000, and maybe I could send my daughter to college in 17 years then. That would be great. Either way, I appreciate the support. Thanks so much. So I have my bench pieces here. Tabletop and 2 benches, and 1 stretcher, or 1 long across the bench support thing. But I think I need to pivot to cutting the angled pieces. I don't know how big they need to be or what angle they need to be at. I don't really get a second shot at this, so I need to do a good job or I'm going over the $50 limit. Based on a quick mock-up with my tape measure on the ground, 24 inches seemed a little bit better than 28, so I went with that. However, my stack of wood was dwindling very quickly, so I was getting pretty nervous about whether or not I was gonna be able to pull this off. I think we did it. I think we're gonna be able to do it, at least in terms of wood. TBD on the screws, but I got 4 of these angle pieces cut. Almost have a whole 2x4 left, and I have that whole 2x3 for a little extra support, so wow, that's exciting. As woodshop me just said, at this point, I was feeling great. All I had left to cut were the cross pieces here and to put the angles on all of the pieces just to make it look more, you know, picnic table-y. Then, once I started assembling these sides, this did take a while just to figure out the spacing, where all the seats were gonna go, all the, you know, little things like that. Took me a little while, but once I got it, copy paste, did it twice, and can you actually believe how much this looks like a picnic table? Oh, I don't think I can. I am stunned, and this is awesome. Well, it's a little wobbly, so I need to cut up that 2x3 to give some diagonal supports. I need to screw all the boards down, and I need to give it a little sand. I think I'm gonna do that in the reverse order, and then we're done. And we may have done it for under $50. Let's go. Of course, I had to give the whole thing a baby-friendly sand. Needed to make sure it was prepped and ready for my daughter's first birthday. All sorts of baby-friendly edges here. No one's hitting their head on that. Put the screws in. This thing was really starting to look like a picnic table. These angled supports underneath gave me some trouble. Tried some actual math on a piece of paper. That was unfortunately all wrong, but guess and check, that worked. Last step was just to install these diagonal supports, and then I was done. And here we are at the end. This is everything I had left over, and with the extra 97 cents that I saved, I did take the financial liberty to swap in 1 piece from my scrap pile to make the top look a little bit more aesthetic. But for an estimated $49.99, I made it under $50 to create something that I think is amazing. But don't just take my word for it.